into my crystal ball that has never failed me before during the break.
I see.
And I saw a future where the idiots in chat were complaining that Fun PB was too overpowered in this tournament because they've only lost one game the entire weekend. And how could you let this team in? How could you ban Wavelength but still let some of these players play in this tournament, Popgun? And you know what I'm going to say to them, Sasu?
What are you going to say to them, Popgun?
No, I'm genuinely asking. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to say. I was hoping you could help me out here.
I think I can help you, and the answer is somebody else did it. It's somebody else's fault.
Yes!
And
there we go.
They should have figured it out, and you should attack that person and not Popgun.
Or you could look at it from this angle. That disgusting pickup team beat them. They're the only team to give them a loss. And quite frankly, should have won at least two of those other games. They had them dead to rights in Rainmaker at Humpback, which is the only counter pick Fun PP has made the entire weekend. And they had two huge leads on them in the two tower control games they played against them in that other set. So disgusting pickup team, yes, you have to win 6 times against this team that's only been losing once this entire weekend. But they've had to put Fun PP into situations where they have to keep coming back from behind. Fun PP has never raced out to a lead against this team, although this will be the 8th game these teams have played against each other all weekend. Disgusting pickup team and Fun PP playing earlier on Saturday as well. Game 1 of Grand Finals. Fun PB, a pickup team, taking on Disgusting pickup team, which is also by definition a pickup team by their own admission.
Yeah, it's pickup team versus pickup team, but I suspect that Fun PB, you know, sometimes when you just kind of let a load off, when you think of every tourney as a Fun PB, maybe that's why they're able to lock in so well. But already 2 members down, make that 3 on Delicious Lasagna. But not going to fare for them well here, because it means that Fun PB, of course, able to take a lot of that space and move up. And, you know, Popgun, I always say he who controls the stacks controls the game as it pertains to Megomart. And I think that Fun PB is doing a really great job of that, as well as making it very difficult for Delicious fish and chips to just drop from there. So I think we're about to see a camp there. They do go down. Very unfortunate to have to witness that.
Well, I did say that Fun PB had yet to race out to a commanding lead in any game they played against Delicious Steak Dinner up to this point, and they're doing exactly just that. Not only that, they're making them feel like they're not even supposed to be in the same lobby as them right now. My goodness, this is a butt whooping that is very quickly turning into a butt whooping deluxe, unless they can find a way to crash into the zone, which is exactly what they're doing, just trying to just make something happen to flip it back into their favor. Yikes! Fun PB has a date to get to tonight. They don't want to waste too much more time in this set. They're already up 1-0 in a very commanding Game 1 win.
Listen, clearly Fun PB has somewhere to be. I totally get it. They just went straight through that. And you know, this PB not looking so fun here for Delicious Gnocchi. Now it's their turn to get that counter pick, to see what it is that they're going to be doing. And hopefully we're not seeing, you know, some questionable choices. They're really hoping to think about what it is that they're strongest at, what Fun PB is going to struggle at, and pick accordingly, because I'm hoping not to see a question mark over my head when when they pick what it is that they're gonna pick.
And this is going to be the 9th game that Delicious Pork Tenderloin has played against Fun PB up to this point of the tournament. So they should have enough information to be like, okay, here's what we think is the best possible map mode combo that can get us a win against this team. And you could also fall into that trap of like, well, we beat them on Splat Zone's ship shape, so let's just pick that again, which can be a little bit tricky because it's really hard to beat a team the same time on the same exact map and mode, especially when they're as good as this. And there might not be a perfect counter pick to go up against. Like, Fun PB might just be locked in for the weekend. and might just be able to beat anybody that plays in this tournament, as they've already done up to this point. But this is an absolute must-win right here. And to set the stage, because I see some people asking in chat, yes, this is a best-of-5. Fun PB is coming in on the winner's side. If Disgusting Pickup Team were to win this best-of-5 set, we'll play one more bracket reset. And they're going with, oh my gosh, they're going with Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track, which is literally the only counter pick that Fun PB has made the entire tournament. This is the only map mode that Fun PB has picked. And they're saying, yeah, well, we're going to pick it against you. Now, to be fair, they did have a huge lead against them in the previous time, and they just got wiped out and got KO'd in the last second. But, yeah, okay.
There's something in the water. You know, in all fairness, I think that's probably what it is. They're like, listen, we fumbled at the end, but if we lock in this time, I think we can just close it out, is what it is. But I'm going to be extreme. There are a lot of map modes that you can pick. You don't have to pick this one, the one that you lost on, but they have, and they're going to be up against a sploosh this time around. So I'm assuming that they are going to be not thinking that they're gonna get that pop, or they do. Listen, I admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong. They get the pop, and they get the first run at the goal.
Why, though? Well, why are we grabbing the Rainmaker in that scenario? Nobody's been splatted. Why grab it and just go? That's the Fun PB taking advantage of that. A little bit of a miscue right there as the reslider comes in. Olay says Icebreaker, who is, by their own right as well, trying to hold forward into something that's not there. Both teams off to a bit of an awkward 30 seconds right now, and it's resulted in this stalemate as everyone is starting to just say, you know what, maybe we should just clean up mid first, then we'll start pushing the objective.
Yeah, a little bit of maybe desperation, question mark, with both of these teams just trying to run it immediately, but it is going to be a Delicious grab team with the first dunk here on that cat. Now, of course, they're in elbow, and it is free. They're going to be able to run that and get points, but not before 3 of their members go down. It looked free, but it was just a mirage. Fun PB grabbing that, dropping it, and making a beeline for that elbow, but I think there's got to be a lot of smoke, and there's the spoken question. They do go down.
What?
Everyone's going down. Whoa.
What was that? The hammer just went away. Okay, maybe there's like a bomb behind them they didn't see or something, but I was wondering if Delicious Steak Dinner had something like they were able to do to kind of shut down that push, and I think Fun PB just didn't realize. Yeah, there's some players a little bit pushed up back in mid, but there's still players back home playing defense. So Delicious Steak Dinner able to hold on for at least now that first checkpoint. Well, I guess there's only one checkpoint here, but still 2 minutes have gone by. There goes the brush out of nowhere, getting a nice double on top of it. This is going to be a great situation right here to put some points up on the board.
Listen, as much as I was questioning the choice to have something that you lost on doing that counter pick, clearly it's working out for that because they ran it all the way to a double.
What happened?
There's literally nobody there. Everybody went down.
What was that?
I couldn't tell you.
No witchcraft going on here in the Halloween low ink. Did a tent just mow down 4 players? Okay. So we regroup right here. No, seriously, what the hell was that?
I don't know. I just saw the wipeout notice and I was like, okay, wipeout. And then I suppose a trade, because then the other wipeout notification happened and just silence. Absolute silence. You could hear a pin drop because everyone was just down waiting to respawn. And now Delicious Gnocchi on it again, and they're just running it and running the timeout because, you know, and I was in the middle of saying I was knocking them for this pick, but clearly I shouldn't have, because on some, they know what they're doing. It's me. I'm the problem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, double wipeout, purely calculated. on top of that as well. By the way, the tent couldn't have gotten all those splats because the tent was on the team that was up and running. Okay, we gotta replay that eventually at some point. But still, the Rainmaker resetting. Delicious Steak Dinner has not given up that first checkpoint yet. Here comes a huge hammer getting a couple of splats on top of this. And now it's just the Inkjet back home. Trash that the Inkjet's been eliminated. So now you got the Slosher with the Ink Strikes trying to just hold on to control things. Is able to get a splat onto the Rainmaker. Here comes Meat Boy grabbing a hold of it. Should have some swim speed to work with. But here comes the bombs yet again. And the great defense is coming out. But there goes two more players yet again. Oh, that's almost another wipeout. Fun PB is schmoving right now. And there it goes.
Yeah, not almost into that wipeout, and they have a lot of reassurance to be able to get there. Of course, that tent shield, but ultimately, Delicious He does go down, and it is just back and forth here. I think they are able to grab it, and they drop it down to put it out of that danger field. But wow, what a nail biter there. A lot was happening.
Feels like the whole tournament's on the line right now in this one individual game. Somehow the Rainmaker is cleared in a safe spot, but Fun PB's in a great situation. And all it takes is one more wipeout. And they're getting a ton of splats right now, but there's a great position by the Slosher to able to get the splat. That might put a cap on this somehow, and I literally mean somehow, because I don't know what happened at all this entire game. Disgusting Pickup Team got a win.
Yeah, and as you can see there, by 2 points, they were just barely also able to stop Fun PB, I think, from essentially doing the same thing again. Last time they were up against them, Fun PB, I think, snagged it right from under their nose at the end there. But Delicious Potato Curry locking in and saying, listen, we didn't get that double wipeout for nothing. We're going to be taking that point from Humpback Rainmaker.
And now the opportunity for Fun PB to tie Lowink history with the greatest run of all time has been squandered. The best record from any team to win Lowink in the 2-day format since 2020 is Rising Matrix, who ran through the entire tournament only losing once. That is the second loss that Fun PB has, so now Rising Matrix still stands alone with a record that you shouldn't really have. Like in a skill cap tournament, it shouldn't be that one-sided. But Disgusting Pickup Team had to absolutely win that one. And now, what are you going to do if you're Fun PB? You just lost on... A team picked your counter pick against you and beat you on it. So now what do you got to do? What's plan B? Technically, they could go back there. I mean, if they wanted to.
No, plan B is taking them to Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge. I'm not so... Fun PB, I believe they have a paintbrush on their team. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, more importantly, they got a tent.
Oh, gosh.
With a vacuum that they can use.
And of course, that is of note for those who don't know. For whatever reason, Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge, really the name of the game is being able to push up those ramps, which can just be extremely difficult. Of course, the other team could just bomb it out. They can just dump their specials in there. And that, once you get past there, you kind of have it made in the shade as long as you don't stagger, because I would argue on most Clam Blitz map modes, or rather maps, you should be able to just throw in all the clams, wipe, it's fine, everyone resets. But on a Scorch Gorge, if you wipe, expect to see them under your basket, ready to go by the time you respawn in. So having that back and that tent shield going to be marvelous for pushing, and plus that paintbrush, a lot of AoE that's gonna force Delicious Gnocchi out of that area.
For Delicious Kid Cuisine, they have lost 3 full sets in this tournament. They came into this one as a 4-2 team out of Swiss, and they've already lost to Fun PB earlier today. So a lot of losses that they stacked up, but this is still a insanely impressive run that they've had up to this point. It is not over yet. If they can find a way to get a win here and go up 2-1, that changes the how we view this entire set going forward, because this seems like the unbeatable force in Fun PB. But you get 2 wins in a row here, and on their 2 counter picks, essentially, there's going to be no reason you can't believe that you can't come out of here with the dub. Dreadringer versus Dreadringer. No real shooter at all on the side of Disgusting Pickup Team. Their roller's been eliminated, and now their Dreadringer goes down as well. In fact, the only shooter we got is the Sploosh from Fun PB coming out from Meat 413.
Yeah, honestly, I love to see the variety of weapons, though, but no variety of people up. Everyone is down into a wipeout there for on Disgusting Pickup Team. I think Fun PB showing up to the party with, I think, their pockets a little bit empty. Never mind, I'm wrong. That is a lot of points on the board right underneath my nose. And you see they've already pushed it past that 60-point mark, down to 26, and they are still going down to a 6 pop gun. It has been 1 entire minute, and Fun PB has already done marvelous things on the board.
Well, we are certainly playing the video game right now, aren't we? If we were the Disgusting Pickup Team, you still got plenty of time to get back into this one, but Fun PB, you got to be feeling really good how that last game just ended, to come out in the first minute and just put a stamp on this game and get yourself in a good situation where you can rebuild all that confidence you've been building back up. And look, they're popping the basket yet again. 2 more players down. They do have an inkjet they can use defensively as 2 more players get splatted here. But this is going to be the problem that Disgusting Pickup Team has defensively, is that, yes, every time the basket pops, you get a Mercy Clam to work with, but you're getting closer and closer to getting KO'd. And you have to basically get a knockout if you want to find a way to win this one as well. So here goes the basket being popped. They're not going to get anything out of this. They're going to get wiped out. They might just lose the game because of this.
I mean, true, but at this point, I would be kind of desperate for those points, but like we mentioned before, wiping out kind of not an option here, because already Fun PB has pushed up all the way. There's just 1 member, but they get wiped out before they're able to bring it down to 1. That was a close one. And so now Disgusting Pickup Team trying to regroup, make their way at the basket in kind. Not necessarily going to happen. I think that they are biding their time to make sure that they do not overextend, but they have they have 2 clams in their pockets. They have a nasty clam economy, but what they don't have is the players up to make a sufficient push. So they're going to be locked out there, and I think Fun PB getting ready once again to see if they can get this final push in.
Fun PB, just by popping the basket, will get it down to 1 point remaining. And if they don't get that 1 point there, I think it would be a point of where there would be enough penalty points right here. They don't get the throw on top of that, so they don't connect to the basket right there. But does it matter? No, because the 10's going to find their way in. They throw 1 more clam. Fun PB dominates on their counter pick there. They go up 2-1 in the set and are 1 game away from winning the tournament.
Yeah, in a really dominant fashion. You see why this was their counter pick. You know, it could have done something to the mental for a team to pick your counter pick and win. Sometimes it's just like, oh gosh, you know, it's kind of a way of showing dominance. But I think Fun PB in that showing said, listen, we're not sensitive to that. You cannot show dominance over us in this absolutely decisive win. Yeah, it was honestly a little bit of a tough watch with how it felt as though they were permanently under that basket, just chipping away. I don't think, Popgun, I've ever seen a 47 penalty in Clam Blitz in my life. Oh, what a starting push for them.
Well, here we go. Disgusting Pickup Team, yet again faced with another counter pick. They can't go back to Rainmaker Humpback, because they won on it already. They could go to Tower Control, which didn't work out well at all. They're going to have to go to a mode that they haven't really been successful with. Their other win that they've gotten is Splat-Zones at Ship Shape. But again, I mean, I guess you don't really have much options at this point of what you want to go to. So we'll see. I'll let them make the decision, and then I can be critical of it if they lose or praise them if they win. But
Or,
yeah, this
you
is...
know, I can be critical and then they win and they prove me wrong. Just like we saw before, because honestly, I mean, clearly I thought Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track was a wild choice, and they picked it nonetheless. So maybe, you know what? Maybe these teams are keeping a running roster of the counter picks of the other team, and they're saying, let's go that. Let's go their counter pick to just try and psych them out. Obviously, we see now there is no psyching out to be had. Fun PB very much so is locked in. So, what are we looking at here? Tower, or... I mean,
Yeah.
what is it? What would you pick if you were in this position?
Well, I don't want to go back to Clan Blitz against Gumshoe, Detective Gumshoe's 10th. And especially just how that last one ended. You can't go, obviously it's illegal to go to Rainmaker in general.
You gotta go to Tower.
And that's what they're thinking as well, Tower Hagglefish. Now, again, the two tower control games that they played previously, they did have a pretty decent lead in it initially. The problem is Fun PB, over the course of the 5 minutes, was able to get back into control of things. So maybe tower control is the right call in this particular situation. Hagglefish is a map that they played on last time, so they want to run it back. I mean, why not? I feel like tower control is the correct answer in this particular situation. And if you were to win this one, Fun PB would either have to go to Rainmaker or go to tower control. No, wait, no, it's just your most recent win. They could go back to Splat Zones if they wanted to in Game 5. But you just got to worry about Game 4 right now. If you're Fun PB, just close this out here in the tournament and go along your day.
Yeah, they clearly, Fun PB, they've got their hot dates that they've got to tend to. Perhaps Rainmaker Humpback, a little bit of a setback for them, but they are on a schedule. So they will be looking to run it back from last time, get yet another win on tower control Hagglefish, on Disgusting Pickup Team like they've done before. But I know that you mentioned things were a little bit close before them last time. I was not able to see that set, but if that's the case, then maybe it's not necessarily... We've seen them make this counter pick, and even though they didn't win it, there are times clearly where they don't win things and they can still turn it around. So perhaps this will play to their strengths. We see a Luna Blaster, this one with Zip. I don't think... Before, I think it was the other Luna, no?
We do see from Delicious Quesadillas, one of their players was actually in chat saying, get ready for line markers, chat. Well, you'd have to be alive long enough to use the line marker from that slosher that you're using right there. And Fun PB able to start pushing up. Yes, they are using the Zip Caster with the drop roller to try to keep themselves alive as they land on the end of the Zip Caster. Here goes Meat Boy number 13 saying goodbye to one of the players as just the brush is left alive, and that's all they need. Getting two splats on top of it. Now it's the brush versus the umbrella, and that's going to be another win. Who's this? Momo, I can't. Momo.
They're moving around.
Momanga. You're doing a good job, brush player. Good job.
Yeah, definitely a strong showing here from Momanga again. And of note, Fun PB gotten past what I would argue is the hardest checkpoint, period. Once you get past that second checkpoint, it can just be extremely difficult to stop you. And you see that right now. We might see this push all the way down to 0. And we do in and out. Fun PB gonna be able to make it to their hot dates. That is a 3-1 here, giving them the low ink championship here and the gold medal.
Momanga just called game. That brush player was the last one left alive in a 1v2. Eliminated 2 players, turned around and said, all right, who wants to catch these hands next? The Barella said me, and so it was like, all right, eliminated that player, and just started pushing up and fell asleep in the enemy spawn, knocking out everybody left and right. Fun PB tearing through low ink, only 2